Oh, the gavel. All rise, order in the court. YouTube made Mikey late. Sorry.
It's YouTube's fault. I was with R&D, baby. R&D.
That's right. Don't be that a-hole. Alan, no. That was not my fault.
No, that's YouTube's fault. I was working with them this morning.
That's right.
They told me, they said 12-1, Mikey. I said, all right. Then the next thing is like, can you give us a little more information about this? They were loving what the kid was saying. Loving it.
I bet. We'll go with that. We got a protection order coming up in a minute. Mikey said a couple of weird brothers, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, very strange. So much so, the thing that stood out of one of the things that was said was they asked where the guy's wife is. He said, well, she's in hiding right now because it's
in hiding. Okay.
And Judge Dude loses it with them. I mean, he's definitely pushed to his limits in this case.
Well, I will say this. It'll be better than the protection order that we watched yesterday.
What was it yesterday?
I promise you that. Nothing. They just set out they had an agreement. They set out some stuff, and that was it. So we just kind of ran from there on to the next. Haley.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I like that. Yo. Thank you. I have no idea what's going on. While we get ready for that protection order, let's see what these boys are talking about. By the way, this guy named Heidi.
I had the right to give that.
I don't know.
I was hoping that I'd be listening to.
And that's
born
fine.
Heidi?
Family name?
But I just don't want you to be confused that you need to tell me everything in your opening statement, everything that is your defense here, because that is more properly given to me by swearing you in when it's your turn to testify after we've heard the township's evidence.
Okay.
But if you want to give me a brief summary of what you think your evidence is going to show, then that's fine. Is that what you want to do?
Like a brief summary. Yeah. Okay.
Heidi already in trouble with the judge, it seems like.
Right.
Go ahead.
So Milton Township is a semi-organized township, according to the township lawyer, William F. Derman Jr.
Thank you.
Milton Township Resolution number 2022-03 states that the township board does not desire to incorporate as a charter township. State of Michigan Zoning Act 184 of 1943, 125.286, Site Plan 6, and State of Michigan Township Zoning Act of 184 and 1943, including 2001, 2003, 2004, 2005 amendments, both clear this statement. The purpose of this amendatory act is to clarify the authority of the township body board officials charged with reviewing site plans and granting approval of site plans, which is implied from the language act, but not specifically set forth in this
That's a bunch of boring crap we're not listening to. Thank you for some dropping some memberships. Congratulations to Other Lashes.
Who dropped memberships?
I believe that was Trollty. Oh, Trollty podcast on 10 months. Never mind. I can't read.
Okay. That's all right.
So close. Hi, Georgia Peach.
George is here. So the last couple of days have been just packed full of amazing TPOs. So we're definitely going to be feasting for a while on these. But the one that I saw yesterday, I felt like definitely needed our attention right away. A very tumultuous situation between two brothers. Each one stranger than the next, Creed. I'll go ahead and just put this up here. No, before you ask, Creed, no, he is not on the beach right now. Okay. That is a room he's in, which is either has one of the loudest kids you've ever seen in your life there, or he's working at a daycare. I don't know which one. You guys are going to have to figure out yourselves. Is this guy at a daycare? Is this what exactly is going on?
See, I saw into the future. That's what it was, Kay. I saw into the future and I knew it.
He prognosticated it.
And no flesh. I've never dunked that, but that would be like those Dunkaroos, though. It'd be very close, right? Animal crackers are close to those Dunkaroo things, aren't they?
Yeah, not far off at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
I believe Dunkaroos are more of a graham cracker, but that's okay.
But pretty close though. I think they're more of a shortbread. Well, we'll ponder that. Let's see what these brothers got. Great lining up with the fan, by the way. Perfect.
Yeah, oh yeah. And just FYI, these guys have been in court against each other numerous times already. You're going to hear the judge refer to all kinds of cases they've had against each other up to this point.
I'm also going to go out on a limb. We're saying the one here that's near the garbage dump on the beach, is that with the seagulls flying around? Are we talking to him with the kids or the other one?
Yes, he has like tons of children, and I feel like this one isn't allowed near children.
Well, I'm
that's just
daycare.
It's so weird. It's
anybody
so
want to rate the 5 men on the channel right now on the screen?
Come on, I'm at least better than the guy on the beach. At least.
I'm guaranteed to beat out at least one of those 3.
All right, so let's get on into this and see what these boys have to say.
A few different allegations here that have happened over the during 2023. So let's start.
Thank you, Gary.
Let's see. And so you said that in February there was eviction paperwork to have you moved from your home. You live in Cedartown, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And who owns the home in which you reside?
Yes, sir, it is.
No.
It's owned by my mother. Apparently, my brother has somehow gotten power of attorney over her. I somewhat question the power of attorney because my mother is housebound. She really can't leave the house. So I don't know how she would sign paperwork and have it notarized inside the house unless they have paid a notary to come to the house.
All right, so right away, brother on the bottom is kicking the other brother out of the house because now he has power of attorney over mom's, and the brother, I guess, is thinks it's not too legit.
Do you usually have your own houses if you have a bunch of kids, though? That's just.
I don't know. I feel like, is he running a daycare in this house, and that's the other reason he don't want to get evicted?
Oh, well,
I don't know, but apparently he's very afraid of his brother. We'll find out more on that.
Okay, now is she residing with your brother right now?
Yes, and that's one of the issues there is that apparently, I mean, when I applied for the ex parte, I had my mother included on it, and Jonathan has not left the house in the cab. He's still there and technically breaking the order, the ex parte.
Yeah, that was not appropriate that you included her. I
forgot.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Is that Eastern, by the way?
That is Eastern time. He is in the great Garden State, New Jersey.
Oh, Jersey. What a trashy state.
I'm interested to see if I'll ever be able to get on. Hopefully we'll see. I'm sure he's not using StreamYard. So we'll figure that out tomorrow.
Tell you that she is an adult over whom you don't have power of attorney, and so you're not in a position to make that request, even though she is your mother. That's true of any adult for any other adult. Georgia requires them to seek their own orders. Adults can file on behalf of minors, but
I understand.
So that's probably how that got stripped out of there. Now, what's the status of the eviction?
Is there no air conditioning in this guy's house? He is sweating up a storm.
Must be pretty warm. Yeah, I saw that. He's using this.
And I love that this brother here on the bottom is the brain trust of the family. We've allowed him to be. Well, thank you, Trollty, for ranking me so high.
In case. Still pending, or has it been handled?
So yes, we had a hearing a couple of weeks ago. Jonathan really upset at the hearing because he was trying to have me evicted that day. He did not give proper notice to the courts.
I just need to know what the status of the case is. Is it open or is it closed?
Basically, they gave a 60-day notice for me to be removed from the premise on May 20th. And this was all action initiated by Jonathan.
All right, and you just
has the judge not said, "Can you please go in another room or tell these kids to be quiet"?
I don't know, because it's bothering him.
It's bothering Creed so bad he had to Creed frame real fast.
Yeah, I
Go
had to
ahead.
just leave. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Thing called. He's pausing. He's got like some dramatic pauses every time it gets really, really loud. And yeah, to not say anything yet is.
I'm waiting for this guy to jump up and be like, "Oh my God, Susie just fell off the bookcase." For God's sakes. It's so hot in there.
And we'll call him the bottom brother. Facial expressions. And yes, he's doing the when you take pictures to look cute.
He's learned well.
Discuss an incident in, you said March 11th, that he tried to enter your home.
Yes, sir. We have Ring doorbell cams. Jonathan tried to enter the property, even though we had it posted no trespassing, and he without notice entered the property without giving notice to my wife that he was trying that. He also then
now, what time of day was this?
He has a wife.
This was about 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
So he's being evicted. He's got 60 days to get out now. It's turned out to be that. Now we're saying the brother showed up at the house trying to break into the residence, and the brother is unfazed, by the way. Am I the only one who thinks the brother is just like, I haven't watched this completely, but I wouldn't be surprised if the brother down at the bottom doesn't say a word the entire time.
Yeah, he's an odd character. There's no doubt about that.
You need to get out of the house and paint the walls. Mother's upset.
Okay.
And then a few days later, he actually then had Polk County police escort him onto the property and tried to have my wife evicted there without any eviction paperwork at that time. The police refused to comply, evict my wife there at the time.
And she's not directly a party to this action, but so I won't use her full name, but is that her name that starts with the B?
Yes, Bryson.
Okay.
If you're going to
It's in the middle. I know.
I mean, we're just really gonna call the wife out like that.
Yeah,
can we get the wife here to do something to take care of these damn kids? I just don't get it.
All I can think of is that there's like a wrestling ring off to the side, just a bunch of toys, like big Fisher Price toys that are just
throwing them across the room. I want y'all to destroy this house for Uncle Edwin gets a hold of it.
That's right. By the way, is that painted or is that
it's beautifully painted. Beautifully painted by hand by that B word. Did you hear that though? He had actually had a sheriff with him to come there and kick the wife out of the house.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
This is getting good. I'm still shocked that he has a wife. I'm sorry.
And maybe he procreated too.
We do stream to YouTube, and so I try to be a little bit cautious about people's personal information in case whoever I'm speaking with,
I understand.
More private person. But I'm glad to hear you feel comfortable with that. So, so he came to the property at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and what are you saying he tried to actually do?
Basically tried to enter the property with the key that they have for the property. We have secondary locks on the door, and so he was not able to enter. And then a couple of days later, he was escorted onto the property by the Polk County Police Department. And at that point, he tried to have my wife forcibly evicted from the property, saying that she didn't have a valid lease. The Polk County Police Department did not comply, said that this was something to be dealt with in the courts.
Okay, so were you there when he tried to enter the property?
No, sir. I was incarcerated at the time in the DeKalb County Jail for a false police report that he filed.
Oh boy. Okay, so false allegedly police report that he filed, and he was in jail.
Yeah, he was locked up. So the wife was on her own. Thank God for those secondary locks on the door that we all have.
I think we've gotten to that point. You just mentioned the wife once, but other than the fact that it came in to have her forcibly removed.
because she didn't have a lease. But luckily, they couldn't get in. Thank God. Do you ever notice, like, look at the guy's face before he wipes his sweat from his brow here in a minute. Every once in a while, there's a really loud noise. He'll look like, oh, shit, I can't believe that just happened. Do you think, like, no matter what happens with these kids, he's just going to keep pushing forward through the case? Just like, just keep going, just barrel through.
Almost like he's unfazed until a really big, loud thing happens.
Mastermind down here. Oh, what a plotter this guy is.
I spent 63 days. That was another allegation in this, is that basically
63
when I
days.
moved out of the
Oh,
property
wait a minute.
back in November.
All right, that's a little more than just a
63 days.
Here I am thinking, like a weekend or a night or two at most. 63 days on something that was completely false.
63 days, Your Honor.
That's the second time he's wiped his face now. He's very.
You see that? See how his collar is like receding down his chest because it's so full of sweats.
I missed the vape. The Bottom Brothers vaping, so watch out.
I got to keep an eye out for that.
Jonathan filed a police report saying that the stuff that my belongings there were actually his, and that I stole them. And this goes back to the original ex parte that I tried to get, that he is trying to get my parole violated. And so this was that the parole officer investigated. I gave him the information. I gave him the evidence of the recordings of, what Mr. Pike, what Jonathan said. And parole deemed the case not worthy of them. On March 16th, I think it was Judge Jason. We had a preliminary hearing, and she agreed with us to the degree that she gave me a UDR at the time. So she doesn't seem to, in my opinion, she doesn't seem to think there was any merit to the case as well.
But yeah, he was in jail for 63 days for stealing his brother's belongings.
False report, Mikey. False report.
He tried to say it was his stuff, Your Honor, and obviously it was mine. So he went to the brother's house and took stuff from his place. He says it's his, and that's why he ended up in jail.
A banger so far, no doubt about that.
Who watched these kids while he was gone?
Right? 63 days.
Okay. And so a condition of that release was that you have no contact with your brother, correct?
Yes, no contact with him or my mother.
Okay. And so,
sir?
And so it was about a week after your release that you said he was at the house.
Correct. The week before my release is when he came to the house.
So that was the first half of March?
Yeah, so I was released on March 17th. The incident where he came to the house was on March 11th or 12th. And this was relayed to me by my wife. I've got, she has actually fled residence because they also, I don't know.
She has fled residence and left all these freaking youngins with me.
Do you blame her?
Is she fled residence or just gone on vacation? She's gone on vacation, maybe. She's fled the residence.
My favorite thing is we don't tell in that little bit there. We don't tell the kids to shut up, calm down, be quiet. We just go, I'm sorry. You said what, Judge? I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Judge King, please speak up. Now she has fled the residence.
Fled the residence. So that means she's ran away.
She gone.
If Jonathan came and cut the grass, or if he had somebody else come and cut the grass at the property, and that they were beating on the walls like they were trying to break the window or enter the property through one of the windows.
And when was this?
When my wife actually fled the property. And has gone into hiding. I don't even know where she's at.
So when was that?
That happened on, I want to say the 13th or the 14th. I would have to look.
Of what?
March.
So
she has been gone since the 13th of March.
That was my birthday, by the way. It has nothing to do with me, just so you know.
And we're claiming that he hired people to cut the grass at the house, and they were beating on the windows.
And she's gone. She gone.
Are we sure she hasn't left for other reasons?
Vincent.
Badass kids, maybe.
Are we going to ask? I hope that we're going to ask about this and kind of dig into it a little bit. I hope as a judge.
I mean, we've got to call her as a witness, right? We got to.
Prior to your release from custody.
Yes.
Okay.
And this has all been related. Go ahead.
Okay. So you were in custody from January until mid-March, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. And I don't see anything in your petition that has happened since your release in March. Is that correct?
I mean, since the petition in March was the eviction that he has put on to. That I think is just basically legal abuse that he started these proceedings while I was incarcerated with I guess the hope that I would not be released in time to actually fight the eviction properly.
So your solution to believing that one legal process was a fiction or a fraud was to file another legal action so that there could be multiple different things going on in different places at one time.
Oh, sir. I mean, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be taught. I mean, I'm not saying this that I have anything against you personally, but it's like this. He will not leave us alone. All we want to be is left alone because of his actions. Like right now, I'm seeing.
Sorry, Angela.
Oh no,
that ain't no fun.
Oh no, that's not right. That's not fair. You should have walked through there and just trashed the place like these kids are doing right now.
Yes.
Again, if he just leaves this house, his brother won't have anything else to say. I mean, he says he doesn't want to live there. It's good to go. Then get out. Just leave. I'm sure he's not paying rent to mom, by the way. But mom's paying the taxes. Just saying. Hottest. Well, tell us more.
Custody of my girls back. We were supposed to get our two daughters are in defects custody, and we were supposed to have gotten them back in March. But because of his action of filing this police report and having me incarcerated, that has been delayed, put off. I mean, it's just like he is trying to do everything he can, legally, illegally, to whatever degree.
I'm sorry. Did he just say the kids were taken away?
I think he just said something about a daughter as well. No?
Yeah. Who the hell are these kids then?
I'm so confused on that one. And I still want to know more about the wife that fled. How are we not?
She fled the house, Creed. She's on the lam. She's gone missing.
That's the craziest thing. Honestly, this is a good advertisement for having children.
Would you let this guy watch your kids? I mean, if these aren't his children,
so far he's taken great care of them.
Make our lives a living hell. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, he's tried to kill me. He's assaulted me. I mean, what else? I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to do. I mean, when somebody drains the brake fluid out of your truck, to me, that's, you're trying to kill somebody. When you tip a dryer on top of somebody, to me, that's you're trying to kill somebody.
Okay, I understand the first scenario. Bleeding the brake fluid. I've seen those movies.
What does the brother do? Walk around with a dryer on top of his head, and he's like, "Come here, boy."
He's like at every turn, the brother's inside of the gas station, just waiting for him to walk past the door. Yeah. He's going to shove it over. Is he laying down under dryers at his house a lot? I mean,
no, he's got the door cracked open just a little bit, right? Hear me out. And then you put the dryer just right on it, so that when you open up the door, the dryer just. I've seen enough.
I know these. I've seen Tom and Jerry.
Yeah,
I know what's going on here. There are easier ways to kill somebody than throwing a dryer on them. By the way, dryer's not very heavy.
That's true. It's not.
I can guarantee I go and pick that up and tote it into the other room right now.
True, but it's not. It's bulky and hard to throw on people, though.
Did you say bulky?
Bulky?
Batakamus?
I mean that's and this is stuff that he has.
Here's where I'm going to jump in. These orders exist to address and treat ongoing threats to the safety of the people that are involved. Now, the record in this case that you have established through your testimony, because this is your case, not your wife's case. You don't know where she is what you told me.
Oh, boy.
Yes, sir, I do not know where she is right now.
For the last 90 plus days, have had no contact with your brother because you spent about 60 of those 90 to 100 days in the DeKalb County Jail, and your petition does not allege a single incidence of contact that has happened in the month or a little bit over a month since you have been released. So what we have is a record that establishes
I'm alleging contact with the eviction.
that is no. I'm just going to say no. That is not. This order requires that acts of family violence be committed against you, not that he filed
a valid lease.
He's talking over the judge.
Oh, look.
5 years.
Judge just pulled a Judge Cedric. I mean, we have never seen Judge
You don't
do that.
You don't. That is a lot. You've done a lot to piss off.
Yeah, he's like, none of this stuff is family violence. Like you have filed for family violence, and now you're telling me that all your brother has done is tried to have your wife leave. You have not even seen your brother for the last 90 days. But yet here we are in here. Let's see that in action one more time.
Let's watch
that. Is not
animation.
This order requires that acts of family violence be committed against you. Not that he filed.
We had a valid lease. We had a valid lease.
There it is.
Time for 5 years, and his whole.
And the place that you handle that is in court at the eviction case. You don't do this. You don't initiate another court proceeding and then try to reframe that as harassment. There are remedies in the legal system.
And then also.
Please stop interrupting.
Something else.
Finally.
Well,
the most chill judge there is.
Oh, yeah. You got to be a real prick to really get him riled up.
Right. At this point, judge is coming at him like, look, man, you're misusing the system, kind of. I mean, without saying, hey, you're coming up with some BS stuff here to try and, finagle the system. It's getting to that point where he's like, look, just shut up.
I gotta say this. Up until this point, I've believed pretty much everything that he said. I mean, to an extent. He said, even though this one hasn't talked yet.
I don't think he's going to have to be honest with you, or he's mute.
He's starting to unravel a little bit and show his true side, I think. And I think that he's talked enough to where now I'm on silent vapor down here side right now. Like that's where I'm at. But we'll see. That all changes, of course. But interesting. How dare you piss off Judge?
Look at that look on his face. Like,
just don't see
son
that.
of a bitch.
There are, and even then, the words out of your mouth were okay, well, and then you continue talking. There are things like punitive damages, awards for attorney's fees, and things of the like that can be awarded to you if fraudulent legal action is taken against you. And what I will tell you is that in this case, the record that has been established is that your brother has had no contact of any kind, not just violent contact, not acts of violence, or certainly not family violence. He has had no contact with you of any kind since your arrest in January. Now, when this case was last before the court, and I'm going to use the term this case, even though that's not exactly accurate, there was a different case number. But the last time this case was before the court, a large portion of our time was spent litigating things that happened before the dismissal of the case before it. And so what we look at in addressing ongoing emergencies, what you are asking the court to do is restrict the freedom of another person. And Georgia law, which is very deferential to the concept of freedom, that's true in how Georgia handles any number of things. It has a civil libertarian streak in the law that very few states do. We are I think we are the only state in the country that has an exclusively criminal traffic code. And the reason for that is because that guarantees you the right to a jury trial, even for running a red light. And we will take 6 people and make them take a day off work and decide whether or not you ran a red light, if that's what you want to have happen. But the way that that carries over into protective orders is that these orders exist to address short-term immediate emergencies.
Happy birthday, Shelley. I would ask you how old you are. I know that's rude.
That's right. That's not nice. Shelly, happy birthday, though, for real. Happy 30th birthday. We'll go with that. Shelly's big 3-0.
What if she's 25? You just insulted her. It was him, not me.
And the record in this case and the record in the last case establishes that no.
Who's had some 10 memberships you demand? Thank you.
The lottery winner.
Act of family violence within the last 5 months because there's been no in-person contact between the parties in approximately that time. And the other portion of this is that to issue a protective order, this court is required to make a finding of fact that this order, this one, will reduce the likelihood of acts of family violence occurring in the future. The petitioner in this case, that's you, Mr. Jason Pike, is already subject to a special conditions bond that you should have no contact with him. And so having this go back the other way to say that I should do a second order that then reinforces he should have no contact with you.
Look, not many times do I get on bandwagons, but with icy cold, setting precedence of everybody sending $2
right
for her birthday.
Yes, love that.
I can get behind that.
That's right. And don't forget, and not to take away from Shelly's birthday, of course, but today's also a dear friend of ours, a dear friend of the channel's birthday today. And I want to take a moment to recognize it. Rafa, happy birthday to you as well. And hope things are well in Miami. Thank you.
Enjoy.
You, and I'm bobbing my head based on where the two of you are on my screen, because each of you is on one side of me. It may be different on your screen. But that is neither appropriate nor legally effective. It creates confusion and hardship and difficulty. And so what I will say is the petition in this case on its face fails to establish acts upon which a protective order can be granted. And the testimony, even taken as true, regarding issues of the eviction and issues that took place at the house when the petitioner was incarcerated, are not acts for which a temporary protective order can be granted. Now, if your wife felt she was being harassed or threatened or harmed by this man, and she chose to file a protective order, then she could have a hearing about the things that she experienced because she's an adult and that's her choice. And the court would hear that and the court would rule on that. But I will tell you that the things you're describing, filing an eviction, for example, it's not acts of family violence or stalking. These are things that frivolous legal actions have penalties all their own. And those penalties
he has
are
no
levied.
idea he's on mute, if I'm not mistaken. He looks like he's yelling into the...
I hope if he does realize he's on mute, do you think he's talking to the children, or is there somebody there? Is he talking to the ghost of his wife? I mean, what is he doing?
He's looking straight into the camera and yelling, basically, is what he's doing. And the judge ain't even blinking, just going for it. Gage, thank you. And happy birthday, Shelley.
Happy birthday!
This high five is for you.
Not yet, Gene. Quit saying his name. He come about like Beetlejuice. No, shh. I'm pretty sure he is.
Frivolous.
Really, during that part, especially because he keeps looking. He's like, you know what I mean? If you're just like yelling out this way, but he's like right at that.
He's angry dad in it right now. He's definitely angry daddy.
in the context and within the confines of the case that is the fraudulent legal action or the frivolous legal action. But when the solution is to start a new one with a new case number and start more problems, we run into any number of difficulties. So while the difficulties you've had with your brother go back years, and I am sympathetic to what you've been through in that regard.
So when he text messages me, saying that he's going to kill me and my wife, on January 10th, that's not contact. I mean, that's that it made to the point where that the solicitor's office said that they were going to apply for a bond revocation, in the case against him because of his contact with us on January 10th, saying that he was going to, hurt my wife, hurt me, and while we still had a protective order active. And
okay, well, that's a simple cut and dry, right? Just show us the text message where he said he's going to. Is it hurt or kill? Because there's a big difference.
And that's true. And so far, we've had zero evidence. And again, I'd like to know more about where the wife.
And a great question: why didn't the wife just press charges if she was filling all these problems and threats and whatnot? Wouldn't that have been way easier than all this? I don't know.
Way easier.
And that's no contact. I mean, by your own definition, that was contact. That was violent contact.
So
I mean, this was, and I mean, right now we have warrants. I put a warrant application in for 2 counts of aggravated stalking because of this. That was the whole reason I even found out that I had a warrant for my arrest, is when I put the police report in for the aggravated stalking, that, they ran my name and said, hey, you have a warrant for your arrest.
He turned himself in without knowing. Again, the judge has just told you, you consistently do the same thing over and over, even though you have no proof. There's no merit to your case. And now here you are just filing more stuff on top of the other.
Yeah, he said that weird stoking.
Stoking in the boys' room.
She might not even, I don't know.
I mean, I submitted this to the solicitor.
And why is he not concerned he don't know where she's at for the last month?
Because he knows where she is, out in the backyard or something.
Under the porch, perhaps.
The trunk.
They want to ask for a bond revocation hearing in the case against him.
You're saying that this incident, this text message was sent to the first time you in January, which was almost 100 days ago.
Yes, and the next day when I filed the police report was when I was arrested on January 11th.
And so,
and if I could have filed the TPO back in January, I would have. But I was incarcerated from January 11th until March 17th, and within 4 days of me being released, I filed for this ex parte. I mean, literally the first chance I could get to file this, I did. First chance I could to file the aggravated, apply for the warrants, application for the warrants for the, for the aggravated stalking, I did.
All right, so he went to file for those things and he didn't even get that far. He didn't, so they didn't even file at that point. Otherwise they'd be in here. He's trying to skate a fine line of saying, hey, judge, the TPO should have been in place and it just wasn't in place. I don't think he can do anything about that. Again, this guy's making up shit.
I mean, I don't know how long it takes for the warrant applications to go through, but I mean, I've started the process.
Look, you don't have to apologize for not being talkative. We talk enough for you.
That's right. We make up for open better. My God,
that is oral surgery, never a fun thing. Those two words shouldn't even go together.
That's right.
And
I mean,
and so when are you alleging that this message was sent to you on the 10th?
So it was sent to my wife's phone. I saw them come through. They dealt with
definitely
me and my wife.
He ain't in a house.
Yeah, what is with that? Is this a
At the
business?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, wouldn't you be like, hey, can you not put my children on your court case?
Right?
I mean, where are the other adults?
And that basically he was harassing her to basically harass me, and this all
Judy, I am glad you said that. I thought for 1 second, is he trying to get sympathy by having this kid in his lap? I thought about that too, Judy. Good point. Great point.
happened within 10 minutes of us getting off the Zoom call back in January.
And so you were not subject to so the court order that you're referencing that you say he violated would be the court order from his bond?
No, well, no, the ex parte plus the court order from the bond, because it was violent contact.
Okay, so the answer is you're alleging that he violated his bond.
Violated the bond, violated the ex parte at the time.
Well, he didn't violate the ex parte because you had already gone to court and lost.
Well, then does the ex parte then go out of effect as soon as you say, it's dismissed, or does it go out of effect when you sign it and file the paperwork?
He's trying to split hairs, Creed. He's trying to split hairs. I want to get him on
for something.
A technicality, Your Honor. Exactly what time of day? What time of day did that go? I got to know.
I mean, within 10 minutes of the hearing being over is when the text messages started coming through, because he felt like he could then start, texting and harassing us.
Here's the problem. Where's your wife?
Like I said, she's in hiding because of what he has done.
Okay. So
I mean, even the brother down there is laughing. She is in hiding. I think she might be in hiding from you, bud. I don't even know if it has anything to do with the brother anymore. I think she's just done with you, and you're using that as an excuse. There's no way in hell. No way in hell this guy doesn't know where she's at. She just doesn't want anything to do with her. Or, like Pass said, 6 feet under.
Let me click back over to this case. All right. Did you submit any exhibits along with this case?
I submitted to the Victims Advocate service from the solicitor's office. I submitted the text messages, and she said that they would get those to you guys. I've got copies of the text messages now. I've got copies of it from the police report. I mean,
we've lost the text messages, everybody. The text messages have been lost. He submitted them, and somewhere in the paperwork, it was lost. Matt Weaver, everybody, 5 memberships. Make sure you got gifts turned on so you may receive. Thank you, Matt.
I've done everything I think I can do, like beyond coming, to the actual court and dropping the evidence off directly, to get it to you guys.
Right.
If I need to do it again,
this is an opportunity for, we'll say, clearing the air, but also sort of level setting about some of these things. First, the message was sent to your wife.
Yes, it was sent to her phone that's in my name, so that you could say the phone was,
Come on, man. Sent to my wife, but the phone's in my name. Again, Grassman straws.
Of mine as well, because I was the one paying the bill.
Mr. Pike, these things get tiring. Like 5 minutes ago, it was, well, is it when you say it's dismissed or when you sign the dismissal? And these are the types of parsings and behaviors that they I guess what I would say is, in some ways, they kind of tell on you that you want to be picky about things when it suits you or when it's helpful. But
I'm not trying to be picky on any of it, sir.
Here's the thing. In January, when we came before the court, there were 2 months without contact. You're saying that these messages were sent in the wake of
the hearing
this happening to your wife. You're saying that things happened to your wife. She's not here. And to the extent that she was the one that received the messages and that they went to her phone, regardless of whose name is on the bill, one of the requirements, I can't sit here and a terroristic threat is a unique allegation. Because in most circumstances under Georgia law, the testimony of a single witness is sufficient to establish the fact if the court deems or if the jury deems that testimony to be credible and truthful.
Yeah,
and
Jimmy Dean makes good sausage.
So, all right. Either he's just an extraordinary liar about the wife, or again, I think we should all be worried.
So, did they really lose the...
He's got an excuse about the phone. He's got an excuse about he gave them to them. I love that he used the fact that he pays for the phone, but the message was sent to her. She's gone missing. We can't bring her on the stand. She's never filed anything.
Yeah. Hey, dude.
Again, I think maybe she's laying low.
To that, and there are a small handful of exceptions, but it is a small list, is a terroristic threat. And so questions that I would want to ask in a circumstance like that are to your wife, where was she when she received it? What time was it? What date was it? What did you do next? To say, oh, well, I showed it to Jason or whatever.
January 10th of
at the other house.
2023. It was about approximately 12:13.
So as I said, these are
the brothers got her. She's there.
Can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, even if she just walked through there on accident, would be.
Yeah, she walks through, kisses the other brother on the cheek. Yeah, baby.
God, that'd be such a
I would just
such a flex. I'd want to see. Would we get any reaction out of the judge if that even happened? I don't know.
Who was that, sir? Who was that?
And do they shoot 10p in the face with Nerf darts and such? And does he even react? Also, he's a
their last name is Pike too.
I know.
Perfect.
I think it was
so
perfect. Pointed that out earlier. We've had
a lot of run-ins with Pikes in the past.
Yes, we have.
They're questions I have for her, not questions I have for you, because you weren't the one that received the message.
I was there next to her when she got the messages. I witnessed the messages.
Whoopee!
Directly. I've got copies of the messages that were sent. I mean, I've submitted them to, the solicitor's office. I've submitted them, to the
time
resource
since,
center.
And in the time,
I submitted Bob Backlund and WrestleMania 2 at Madison Square Garden.
And the 21 plus 28 is 49. 31 is 80. So in the 98 days,
my God,
since that message is received, you have not laid eyes on.
D, stay off the road. Jesus Christ.
We got people with the oral surgery issues. Got you out here plowing through cars. Everybody, please be safe.
Mikey's had one of those weeks. Also,
this week
I
sucked.
have no idea.
Sucked. Not good. No time for that, Creed.
On your brother, unless it's on Zoom. Is that correct?
We met in the court for the eviction hearing, but I have not laid eyes on him.
You haven't laid eyes on him outside of a court proceeding, virtually or in person, in the last 98 days. Is that correct?
No, I have not.
Okay.
That's it.
And so, what I will say is this. My finding based on the evidence presented, based in part, there is a no contact order against you. There is a special conditions bond of no violent contact against him. Introducing additional court proceedings into these equations needlessly complicates what we have. You indicated that the solicitor is pursuing legal action. You have the ability to respond and fight for your rights in your eviction case. You also have a special conditions bond, whether you believe the case is just or unjust, that you need to abide by. Now,
when you say which brother's better, are we talking about in the literal sense? Like, I feel like the brother on the bottom, the brother on top is like, I'm so envious of my brother, that smug bastard. Ladies' man, mom's favorite, good friends with Hulk Hogan online.
What's up, brother?
I don't know if your wife has ever lived with him or not, such that, like, in the same residence, I don't mean like as a couple, but
Wow.
like if they've ever lived together such that they have a family violence relationship. They might not.
I wonder where that came from.
That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, is there maybe something in the notes or something that he's seeing that we don't know? I mean, we were joking about it. We were definitely joking about it, but I wonder if that's really
Maybe
a thing in this
thing?
case or not.
Wow, that was out of left field.
For him to bring that up.
Had she ever lived with your brother?
And then to backtrack a little bit, like, maybe not in a relationship sense, but
we all know you like to sponge off people.
Oh, wow. That's intriguing there, that part of it, him bringing that up, even if he didn't really mean it in the sense that we were joking about, and you guys in the chat have been. I kind of think he might.
There's got to be something in paperwork.
That's what I'm thinking.
She's bounced on him. She's left. She's not hiding. She's hiding from you, bro.
I'm starting to think that too. I hate that we're not going to hear anything from the other brother. Like, this is about over.
Yeah.
I'm really wondering if this would have taken a different turn. Listen, we're giving him the benefit of the doubt down here that we haven't heard from. I think that he seems very normal, but he hasn't said anything. We've seen facial expressions and him yell, shout out one time. We didn't hear him because he's on mute. He might be just as wacko and crazy, as Double L pointed out. That is an odd painting back there.
And he does look like Truman Capote.
Wow, Judge. All right. Judge just threw us a curveball on that one. That's not in his usually something that he throw out there.
The situation here where there has been no contact for this extended length of time is not what an emergency protective order aims to address. And the remedy,
maybe
that could be. You're right, because it's not just one other thing. Didn't you say there's a few other things that have happened?
There's been so many charges filed. They got the eviction coming. He's got this whole thing. The other brother's trying to get all these trumped up charges against him. I just don't see the brother down there being a badass that's threatening to harm people.
No, I don't really see him coming.
I just don't see that.
But again, we haven't heard from him. So we don't know. We really don't know. But we're just going off of complete silence. Do you realize that we're completely analyzing him?
Oh yeah,
100%. He said nothing. We're looking at his facial expressions, the fact that he's been vaping through the whole thing. Also,
I mean, if he spoke up, it could have been like,
"Yeah, look here, Judge. This motherfucker up here giving me a hard time not getting out of my place. Can we do something?"
If you believe you're entitled to because you believe you're wrongfully evicted, you should absolutely ask for in the context of the eviction case. The help that you think you need in regards to the criminal charges against your brother, continue to coordinate with the solicitor to pursue that assistance. It is but what we are dealing with here, the focus in these types of hearings is on recency. And in that context, there is no recent, because we are at 98 days of no contact between him and you. And when these cases are considered by the court, they are, as a practical matter, considered between the.
That's entirely possible. Listen, if you win the woman, right? You have that look, that glow, if you will.
And look at my face. I have no room to talk about people's looks, but I would I would give all of our donos from the day over just to get a static picture of her. I want to see who this lady is that walked out on Charles Bronson up there, good looking, rugged bastard he is, and left all the kids.
Adult that filed them and the adult that's on the receiving end of it.
Well, I mean, I take legal abuse as context, sir, but that's my opinion.
Legal abuse?
Well, context doesn't change facts, and this is a situation where the court doesn't have discretion to act on what it believes is right. We have to have predicate things that we believe have taken place to a sufficient level of certainty before we are even allowed to consider intervention. And so you and your wife can consider where you were when you received your messages. You can consider legal action from a criminal aspect in that jurisdiction, because that's the place that should have it from the criminal side. And then if the solicitor chooses to do something on your behalf in their case, that'll be heard by the judges to whom that case is assigned. But in the context of this case, where there has been no contact between the parties for 97 days, this protective order is going to be denied and this case will be closed. The legal matters that are pending between the parties will continue to pend in the place that they are. And what I will say is this, in case it wasn't already clear, it sounds like neither of you wants to have contact with the other. And if either of you were to initiate contact with the other, especially of a harassing, violent, or threatening nature, you could be jeopardizing a bond, or you could be creating a cause for new criminal charges to exist. Mr. Pike, just to keep in mind with respect to the terroristic threat, that additional witness or that firsthand source, and I understand that you're saying your wife conveyed to you these messages upon receipt, but if there is
living being the word,
she would have a part to play in this, because the things you were told or shown, he has a right to question that witness, is essentially what that comes down to. And so, and I think that's a big part of the reason that law was set up the way that it was, to have a different fail-safe in it because of the nature of the allegation and the charge, compared to some of the other things that one might experience in a criminal law context. And so that is going to be my ruling based on both the face of the petition and the evidence presented in today's hearing. The parties will be placed in the waiting room and will be free to log off thereafter within.
He wants to say something, for God's sakes, let the man say something.
Nope, ain't happening. 5 seconds left in the video. I see it down there. Stop teasing.
Come on.
Damn it.
Instructions to continue with any other court proceedings as required by those courts.
He ain't having it.
Oh my God, that look on his face is priceless. I mean, it's priceless. Your brother, the mastermind, the manipulator, the aggressor.
All three of their looks right now is amazing.
Oh wow.
What a case that was. What a case. He kind of just he lost it for himself, right? I mean, there wasn't even
he had nothing. Yeah, he had nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing.
I'm guessing the judge did have a pretty good idea about them and that whole situation going into that. That's got to be.
Yeah, he made a point of reference several times to the other cases.
Shame.
Other cases. Again, Rachel Karen Green making life decisions way better than those two brothers by becoming a member today.
Thank you. Hallelujah. Man, that
Rachel Karen Green.
That was a case.
Again, we need to get a posse together. We need those corpus delicti sniffing dogs. We've got to find out where these people live, because we have got to find her.
Yes, Defendant Fang is up getting in trouble for an unlicensed dog. Obviously got a little savage hit to the forehead there. You got a little knot happening. Huh?
It's either contusion or zit. Not sure.
Oh yeah, Lola, we've been watching this beard grow nicely, coming in nicely, I say.
I mean, it does age him though. That's the only problem I have. It makes him look a little bit older than he should. Yes, memberships are now active over on We Got a Case.
Oh, really?
Just as of about an hour ago, they were all approved, and everything else that you can now become a member over there. We got to get at least 50 people, 50 people to become members, so we can start doing members onlys where you'll get nothing you've ever seen here, exclusively just for the members. Exclusive. Sounds important, at least, right? I think so. All right. Creed. Oh, look at shelves now.
That's a savage move, Shell.
Savage.
A savage move.
Is he grown out his hair too, by the way?
Yeah. I mean, the hair's been going for a while. This guy has eyes in the back of his head.
Got to in this courtroom.
Vincent! Oh, golfer Lisa's not a vampire. Gotcha, guys are great. I love the new look. I like it. By the way, with the beard, his hair being long does not look as. Remember when he was clean shaven with the long hair, it was kind of throwing it off. Now it's equally balanced.
Yeah, they balance each other out. I think you're onto something there, Creed.
Pamela?
I wish I could grow a beard like that.
I'm ready.
Oh, you just got my attention, Pamela. All right, then we're going to let Creed do what he does best around here. Thank these awesome people down below. And then we're...
Memberships live on We Got a Case. I love that. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, I didn't even notice. Today's monetary monorail is called the YouTube Loves Mikey Express. I like that. Haley, thank you. Shells, Troyalty Podcast on YouTube. Gary, Flusha, Shelly, who's handsome, not the guy on the bottom. It cold or icy cold. Either way. KH, Matt, Dreamweaver, Cat P. Cat P? Rachel, Karen Green. Shells, baby. Vincent C, Golfer, Lisa, and Leather Lashes.
Leather and Lashes, you are the caboose today, so enjoy that. By the way, we missed this one right here.
Oh,
Georgia
God,
Peach.
I just clicked right through it. So
Georgia
fast.
Peach, right before Leather and Lashes. While you were reading.
Guys, thank you so much for the support. Obviously, we would not, without you guys being as amazing as you are, and it's not just throwing money around. It's not just throwing the donos. It's the likes. It's the chat. It's all about that makes this a load of fun, and we.
It's definitely a load.
Really appreciate it. And Kay, thank you, Deanna. Great to have you here. Love it. Awesome. Very good. Glad you come over from there and understand what's going on here. That's great because we do things a little bit different around here. In case
if we all did it the same, it wouldn't be as fun, would it?
Well, apparently, I don't know. People like to ride the trends and just watch the same shit over and over again.
I love Biggin. He's a great guy. What a class act. Need more people like him on the YouTubes.
By the way, one last thing from Mikey. What did you say? Tomorrow night you're going to be on?
Yeah, tomorrow night I will be on Time Served with Phil. Phil, by the way, super fan, turned YouTuber, I guess you'd say. So I'm going to hang out with him, do a little of this, a little bit of that. Make sure you're there at 7:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night on Time Served on the YouTubes.
Wild Woman Wednesday next.
That's right. We're going to go to Chicago. We're going to go to Florida. And we're going to find out, Creed.
Yeah.
We'll find out if you give a stripper a car and it's stolen, should that stripper be in trouble? All that and more. As soon as we're back at 4:05 We love you. Make sure you like the video if you haven't done so already. Like it, love it. Bringing it in, coming in hot. Chart-topping hits, chart-topping hair. 6 more likes would be amazing. Bye, Creed.
It's so quiet.
Did Val Sky want me to come and visit her in Florida? So she said, I'm in Florida. No?
We'll be right there. 7 hours.
All right, we're